Hello and welcome to Loppy Loves Iceland. If you haven't been here before, my name is Lauren and on this channel I talk about my life as an immigrant living in Iceland. Today we have another episode of interviews with the Innlendingar, and today I am talking to Sandra. And Sandra has actually lived in quite a few countries, so I really think it's nice to get a perspective on Iceland from someone who has lived in other countries as an immigrant as well, rather than just coming to Iceland and having that as the first experience living abroad, such as my experience. This was a really lovely interview, and Sandra just kind of radiates this positive energy that I'm sure you will really enjoy watching. So let's get straight into the interview. So I am here with Sandra. Welcome, Sandra.
Hi.
Hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Lovely to be here with you, Lauren. Thank you for the invite. So my name is Sandra D'Angelo. I'm originally from Croatia. Have been living abroad for over 15 years now. The last almost 6 years in Iceland. Before that, I lived in Switzerland. Then before Switzerland in Germany, and then before Germany again in Switzerland. So that's kind of in short lines. I've been living here now, as I said, for almost 6 years, running my own business and enjoying Iceland.
Brilliant. So I've been everywhere then, by the sounds of it.
A
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
So why did you move to Iceland?
Yeah, that's typically the question I get, from people like, where do you live in Iceland? Why? So I moved here because of love. My husband is Icelandic, and after having almost a year of long distance relationship between Zurich and Reykjavík, we decided to make Iceland our home. So this
Mhm.
is this is what happened. Love brought me here, and I'm very happy it did, really.
So how did you meet him, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, of course. It's a bit of a longer story, but I will keep it shorter. So basically, we both studied together in Switzerland, doing our bachelor studies,
Hmm.
which I graduated from, what was it, 2012, I think. And so we met there just as friends. I knew of him, he knew of me. And then after we graduated, we lost contact for over 7 years.
Wow.
And then we reconnected when Croatia was playing finals in the World Cup in 2018 against France, and when we lost. That's when we reconnected. He wrote, I'm sorry that you lost, or something along those lines. And then, the rest is history. We started chatting and then long distance and la la la. And here I am,
Yeah.
married.
Wow. And was that one of the games in Russia, the World Cup there?
I'm
Because
not sure where they played it.
I was at the World Cup with Iceland in Russia, and I can't remember it. There was one game, the first game I missed it. I was in Iceland.
Yeah.
I was there for the other two, so I might actually have been at the Croatia game if it wasn't the first one.
Oh, interesting. To
Yeah.
be honest, I have no idea. I cannot remember now where they played,
Mhm.
but maybe.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, I think yeah.
The world is small, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah, definitely. Mhm. So is that the reason that you still live in Iceland for your husband?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. I mean, he's Icelandic, so obviously his family is here. He also has a job that is so that he needs to be physically here. I don't,
Yeah.
but he has, so obviously we are here. That's, I think, one of the main reasons, but not only. I think life in Iceland is amazing. The level or standard of living is very high. It's a very safe country. And I think also it's very nicely positioned just between the US and Europe. And I travel a lot, both in Europe and in the US. So it's kind of, I'm in the middle. It's
Yeah.
a good strategic location, I
It
think.
is a very good place, isn't it? Right between both.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. But obviously, having said all that, it's also an island. So that also makes it a bit challenging at times, especially, I think that was, I guess that will also be maybe one of the questions we will talk about. So, after moving from Switzerland, which is in the center of Europe, where you can just sit in a car and drive wherever you want, I moved to an island in the middle of nowhere, which is at times a bit challenging. You cannot just sit in a car and drive to another country, right? You
Yeah.
can either fly or swim.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
we
of
don't really.
course. Yeah. And of course, even like for me, like being from the UK, we are
Yeah.
an island, but we have a tunnel that connects us to the mainland Europe. So you can still drive, to Europe from the UK. And yeah, here
Yes.
it's
Do you
very,
also
very
find it difficult to, like that idea that we must fly to actually,
yeah,
move away from here?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or catch a ferry for like a few days to the Faroe Islands and then Denmark, and yeah, which
Yeah.
I've never done.
No, I think it takes like 3, 4 days or
Oh,
something
it
up,
takes a
right?
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a
I've got a
cruise
friend,
ship.
yeah, I've got a friend who comes to Iceland every so often via the
Yeah.
ferry, but because he wants to drive here, and I'm like, wow,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, if you stay longer, I can imagine. Yeah, it makes sense, probably, right? Like if you come
hmm
here for a month, I would also probably come with my car or something.
yeah,
But if you come for a week, I don't,
yeah. It'd be
you
like
know,
half the time just on the ferry. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. hmm So, do you speak Icelandic?
No.
No,
I'm very ashamed
no, it's fine.
I mean, of that. Honestly, like, when I moved here, I'm fluent in German, so I thought it's gonna be super easy for me to learn Icelandic. Then I started learning Icelandic, and I was like, what is happening? What is going on? So I started making mistakes when speaking German, and I often work in German as well, and I cannot, not speak German. And so I think it's kind of a mix. That's one of the excuses I have. The reality is probably also a bit of laziness and I feel also comfortable just because everybody speaks perfect English, everyone.
Yeah.
And so it's just so difficult to, make yourself actually learn it, I think. So, but I always say to my husband, I think once we get a baby, then I'm gonna definitely learn how to speak it, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Then the kid will help as well. Like, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna speak baby Icelandic. I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
how I learn. That's how I learn. I don't have any kids myself, but when I came here, I was looking after two little girls, like
Okay.
an au pair, and yeah, I was learning Icelandic from the children. So for a long time, my Icelandic was just this baby Icelandic.
But it's amazing. A lot of people I met here actually are either maybe working in kindergarten or something related to kids, and therefore they speak. So are you fluent in Icelandic?
I wouldn't say fluent because my grammar isn't very good because I
Mhm.
can never get my head around the grammar in Icelandic.
Yeah, that's just okay.
But I rarely have to switch to English. So yeah,
Okay.
I can
Well
just
done. That's
thank you.
really good. Well
Thank
done.
you. So, what do you miss most about home? About your home country? Well, you haven't been there for a long time, I guess,
No,
have
I have.
you?
Yeah, I mean, I think like the longest before Iceland I've been to was in Switzerland. So kind of that is, and I'm very connected with the country, not only because of work, but also a lot of my very good friends are there. So I wouldn't say, Switzerland is my home, but it's probably in my adult years, place where I spend the most time. So if we look at that, maybe I would say the location.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I think that is one of the things. I miss Swiss cheese,
Yeah.
fondue, raclette, all of those things I miss a lot. But then if I look from my home country, which is Croatia, I think I miss sun the most. I think that is something which is a common answer probably for many people living here. I think that is and I miss, also maybe stability in the weather.
Yeah.
When I moved here, they were telling me Icelanders have this joke, which is if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And I was like, whatever. But it's really true.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, you have sun, you have snow, you have rain, you have wind, you have no wind, you have like 4 seasons in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to plan. It's very hard to plan in advance. I want to go skiing this week, but I don't know if I will be able to because of the weather. And we won't probably, right? Orange warning tomorrow.
Oh yeah. 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 It's crazy. Like here in Selfos today, the snow that we had snow and hail on and off throughout the whole day. And looking out the window, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't want to get out.
no, no, of course.
No, no. And then famous Icelandic window weather. So
Yeah.
you see the sun outside, you see the blue sky. It looks amazing. You get out, either you get blown by the wind or it's like super cold, so you go
Yeah.
back.
Of course.
Just love it.
So, what do you enjoy the most about living in Iceland?
Um, I would say, which is actually funny because at the beginning I also didn't like that, but now I do enjoy this calmer lifestyle, I would say, in comparison to many different places in the world. I think we live very, not so stressful here in Iceland. It's the lifestyle is just more relaxed, more calm. You rarely see people rushing or stressing themselves, maybe only in traffic, but
Yeah.
even though traffic here in comparison to maybe bigger cities is, doesn't exist
Yeah.
really. But I think that is really an interesting thing. And then also when you go and travel abroad, then when you come back, I think you appreciate it even more think that is that is one of the amazing things. Then the air, the quality of air here is absolutely insane.
Mhm.
It's perfect. It's
Yes.
like there's no pollution. I think that is a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
Then wherever you go, it's like you're in a, I don't know, a fairy tale, I guess. The nature is absolutely wonderful, beautiful. It's, I mean, good food as well, right? Very
Mhm.
good food. Fish, for example. I love fish here. It's amazing.
Mhm.
And what else I'm trying to think? I don't know. I just like feel comfortable. I don't know if that's because I moved here because of my husband who is Icelandic and therefore, I kind of uh, his family welcomed me very well and I just felt at home immediately. So maybe that's also contributing to it, but I really always felt at home.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's really
that's
nice.
a really beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely feeling. Yeah. It's all valid. Really, really good points, actually.
I'm curious. Tell me, what do you love the most?
Oh, it's a good question. So I also really like the like calmer pace of life here
Yeah.
because I'm from a big city. So for
Mhm.
me, like the fact that now in my day job, I live on the same street and it's just a 5 minute walk into work for me.
Amazing. Yeah.
Whereas like for me, it was normal to do like a 1 hour commute to work and a 1 hour commute back from work in my hometown. So like to have that kind of to have 2 hours of my day back is like really, really lovely.
Mhm.
Um, and also I think people here yeah, people are like interested in
Mhm.
where people are from here. If you're not local and they don't recognize you, I think I
Mhm.
quite like getting into conversations with people here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, because I know I have a lot of friends from all different countries now here,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
quite like learning about everyone's cultures. But
Mhm.
also, it's quite interesting to see what people think about my country. Not being from there, and it's quite
Yeah.
interesting to see these viewpoints. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
quite thankful of this. Mm.
Yeah, it's very nice. And it's very, I think the fact that the country is small and that there aren't that many people, kind of everyone knows each other through a certain connection. So everything is much more relaxed. If you need something, it's maybe 2 or 3 phone calls away, it's so much easier, rather than maybe in bigger cities where people are or tend to be, not always, of course, but they tend to be more individualistic,
Mhm.
whereas here the culture is, I think, more, collective, so to say. So think that's really nice. And big
Mhm.
families. And again, that's why you know so many people, right?
Feel like it's such a small country, but I feel like everyone is related to my boyfriend here. Like we walk down the street and then he'll say hi to someone, and I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's my cousin," and I was like, "I've
Yeah.
never met this person before." These
Yeah.
family parties are huge.
Yes. Yes. We have just recently had a family party. So the father of my husband, he has 4 siblings, and then
Oh,
of course each of them has at least 2 or 3 kids, and then each of them has another 2 or 3 kids. Anyway, the party was like 50 people, family. Like what? Amazing.
it's like me. I'm an only child, and I can count my
You.
family on my hands. Like that's how small my family is. Whereas here, it's just endless. Like,
Yes, absolutely, exactly the same. I'm also an only child, and I can count exactly my family on,
Mhm.
my hands, fingers, however you say. But it's for them, it's weird. Like an only child. Wow.
Exactly. I always get this like, but they're like, but what about half siblings? And I'm like, I don't have any half siblings. It's just me, and they can't wrap their heads around it. It's really, yeah.
Yes, I met once. So in 6 years, almost 6 years now, I met one person who didn't have any or who doesn't have any siblings. Just
Wow.
one. Everyone else has at least one, you know.
Yes.
Normally it's two, but
Hmm.
rarely it's one, but normally it's, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
an
Yeah.
interesting thing.
I have one of my colleagues. He is the same age as me, and he is one of, I think he said 8 or 9. Yeah. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine. You
Oh
know,
my God.
crazy to me.
Individual. Wow. I cannot imagine either.
No. Oh. So, is there anything that you'd like to see in Iceland? Maybe in terms of like infrastructure or entertainment, any restaurants, or just
Yeah.
anything that you think is missing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like I'm thinking in terms of infrastructure or maybe like yes and no. I think we don't need to kind of overdo it. You can think about, oh, maybe, I don't know, railways or better or more infrastructure around sightseeing places or whatever. Yes, it could be, but I think just keeping it natural as it is right now is so much more beautiful, right? Like a lot of, and what I mean by that is a lot of times when you go travel around the country, or you would come to a place where they maybe have just like a how can I say, like a board that shows you where you're at, and that's it. They don't have anything more than that, nor do they have maybe pavements or whatever, but it's nicer to keep it natural as well, right? So I think they're doing here, like in Iceland, they're doing a really good work in trying to respect nature as much as possible. And I think that is so amazing, incredible. So try to put as least human touch into nature as possible. And I think that's amazing, honestly.
Yeah,
I think that shows a lot of respect and love towards your country.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I don't think I would change or add anything for now, at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reykjavik has, I think, in my opinion, everything you need.
Yeah.
It's a perfect size city. I love it. You can
Mhm.
walk everywhere. You have everything you need. No, no complaints.
Mhm. It's good.
Yeah.
So, what do you wish you'd known before you moved to Iceland,
Ooh,
if
it's a
anything?
good question. Yeah. Hmm. I'm not sure, like, if I would have wanted to know more, like, or know that before I moved here. But what I did find a bit surprising is, like, in comparison to kind of other parts of Europe, I find Iceland to have a lot of American influence here, like more than maybe some other European countries. So that was maybe a bit of I wouldn't say surprise, but it's not a typical European country. Let's put it this way,
Yeah.
right? So geographically it is Europe, but I think the lifestyle wise and shop wise, and in many instances also food wise, there is a lot of American influence. I think you would agree with me, no?
Yeah, yeah. I get surprised when I see like how many American food products are here.
Yes.
Like compare like in the UK we have maybe like a specialist aisle in the supermarket for international food, and there might be like a few American snacks. Or we have special like American snack shops, but they're just quite small, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas here
Yeah.
you just find everything in the regular supermarket, and it's
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
American things that you wouldn't get elsewhere in Europe necessarily.
Yeah. That's it. Then another thing, I don't know. I don't know if there is anything that comes to my mind, like this. Um, no,
Hmm.
nothing on top of my head. If something comes up as we talk, I will
Yeah, yeah,
let.
yeah, of course. And so, do you feel that you're able to reach your full potential professionally in Iceland?
Yes, but I also must say that I run my own business. And so, that's kind of a caveat to my yes. I have never worked in Iceland for an Icelandic company, or, in any company in Iceland since I moved here. I have been running my own business, and I work with my clients, yes, here in Iceland, but also online, right? So that's why I think when you're self-employed, you are in charge of how much potential of yours do you want to use. So that's why I mean, yes,
Mhm.
definitely. I do also believe that it is on each and every one, on every person individually, that if you move to another country, is it Iceland or is it whatever, it's your own responsibility to integrate into society as well, right? So, and I lived in 4 different countries so far in my life, in more than 11 different towns and cities. So I really traveled quite a bit and lived in different places. And I must say, like, you get as much as you give from the environment you're in. So I think that's also very important to consider if you're considering to moving to Iceland or wherever it is, right? Um, but I think, yeah, I mean, the answer, yes, definitely yes, definitely. But you also are doing amazing things here with your business. And what has your experience been so far in terms of your reaching your potential? I'm curious.
Yeah, so for me in the UK, I was a jeweler, like professionally. I have my qualifications, I have my work experience. But in Iceland, my qualifications don't translate over to it, so it's a protected industry. So I can't call myself like a goldsmith or a silversmith or anything like this, which I'm okay with that. So I'm
Mhm.
like a jewelry artist. So
Mhm.
after a few years of like not doing any jewelry because I just thought I wasn't allowed to, I was kind of like, I can't accept that for an answer because I am trained to do this, I am qualified. And I started like digging deeper and, trying to reach out to people because everyone that I'd reached out to before wouldn't respond to me, or the ones that did were like, I can't help you, you can't do
Yeah.
it here. But I started to look into how I can still do this without the title. And Yeah, and the great thing about that is that I've also found others here, both Icelanders and foreigners, who also can't be like professionally, like legally with the title of goldsmith or anything,
Yeah.
but I've still found ways around it. And I've actually started a community of bringing those people together in Iceland. Whereas,
Oh,
like, yeah,
amazing.
because where I'm from, my city, we have a neighbourhood that's dedicated to the jewelry industry, and we're all
Mhm.
like helping each other out in the different companies and everything. And because it's like we're not in competition, everyone has different styles, you know. I don't think I'm in competition with any jeweler because
Mhm.
it's, you know, it's my work, my style and things. And I think it's better when we all help each other.
Yeah.
Um, and that didn't seem to be the attitude that I was finding here. But then I've started making a community and trying to teach that that is the attitude that we should have, and everyone benefits from it. But
Yeah.
yeah, been
That's
yeah, but it's been good, and I've been learning a lot, and it's yeah, helps me to feel more confident, I guess, in, you know, being here and
yeah. What an amazing example, right, of using your potential. I mean, again, it's up to us how
yeah.
much we want to. You could have stayed at home and be like, "Oh no, I cannot do it," or you could have been like you have been. What can I do with what I have, and how can I make the best out of it? So amazing, really, really well done. I love that, and I love the attitude that you're saying. You know, I think as business owners, it's important to kind of keep in mind that you're actually not in competition with anyone because nobody is you, right? Nobody brings your story, your personality, your character, your way of talking, being, your background. Like nobody has that. So even if we do the exact same thing, some people will never buy from me and some people will never buy from you. And that's
And
totally okay.
they're just not the customers. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love
Mhm.
that. So,
Mhm.
so good.
So, what's your favorite Icelandic word, if you have one?
Oh God.
If you have one, no worries if not.
Oh my God, that's an
Yeah.
interesting one. I don't know. I must say that I've been pretty proud to be able to pronounce, this Ea Fiatla yogurt.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's my favorite word, but it's a pretty hard word to say. So
It's a
I'm
hard
kind of,
word to say.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Good answer. I was actually waiting for someone to say that as an answer at some point.
See? Got it. I nailed it. No, that's a difficult one. At the
Yeah.
beginning, first time you hear it, you're like, Ea, what? But then with practice, I got there. I'm
Mhm.
fluent.
Yeah. That was one word that before I moved here, I was practicing it for months. I was like, I'm going to nail this word before I get to Iceland. I'm going to be
Yeah.
able to say that at least that one word.
Which one?
Eyjafjallajökull.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. God, nice one.
Yeah, I like that answer.
Yeah, there are a lot of jokes about that and how Chuck Norris can say that word backwards and
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm not there yet.
So yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to add that we haven't spoken about already? About
No, I think we covered a lot. I think, overall, kind of to summarize, I think Iceland is a wonderful country and a wonderful place to be. And I'm very, very grateful and happy to be here. And also, we have actually seen each other, in person and we met before. And I'm glad to be here and support what you're doing. And yeah, I think you also offer a lot of amazing insights for those who are interested in maybe moving here or being here. So definitely I invite them to follow you and to, listen to other podcasts and what others have said, because I think it's so important to hear people's experiences about, their, how can I say, way of living and how they adapted to where they are and, take the best advice really and adjust it to yourself.
exactly.
So
Yeah, thank
thank
you
you
for
so
that.
much for having me here. It's
Thank
been a
you for being
pleasure.
here. So I have one surprise question from the last guest.
Ooh, okay. Tell
So
me.
it's, have you experienced any traditional Icelandic celebrations like Thorrablot or Menningarnótt? Or it could just be.
Yes, Menningarnótt definitely a few times. I love Menningarnótt actually. It's my like I wouldn't say my favorite, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So for those who don't know, it's like basically cultural day, right? Here in Reykjavík. So there is a lot of going on during the day and night, a lot of different events. A lot of places have kind of either free entry or cheaper entry to their museums or concerts or whatever. It's a lot of fun, especially when the weather is nice. Especially then. Traditional, yeah, I've been on a traditional Icelandic baptism a few
Oh,
times where they name the child. It was fun.
yeah.
I've been on a traditional Icelandic wedding, which was also fine. I've married myself. I mean, I also got married here in Iceland. I think, let me think if there was anything else traditional. And just, different traditional, again, having my husband be Icelandic, they have different traditional, I don't know, Christmas dinners or New Year's dinners, or those, weird foods that they eat in February or whatever. Or,
Yeah, I think it's around about now. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's around now.
Yeah,
I did not eat those things, different parts of the animal. I don't need that, but it's interesting to kind of know about it. Let's put it this way. So yeah, I think that's more or less it. But yeah, definitely I've experienced, and it's a lot of fun always. I think it's beautiful,
Mhm.
definitely.
I've actually never been to Menningarnot. It's like the one thing every year I'm like, I'm gonna go, and then I've never done it still. In almost 8 years, I've still not.
No, you should definitely. I mean, you will meet a bunch of people who are maybe not in your field directly, but that you could potentially also collaborate with or something. Sure. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot.
Definitely. Is it normally in May? I can't remember. It's around about.
No, Meninganot is in August.
Oh, thank you. August.
Yeah, it's
Try
in
and make
August.
it this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like around 20. It's always actually, I think, around 20 something of August. I think now you're confusing me. Wait,
I'll
let me
have a
check.
look. Yeah.
Meninganot. Quickly, I'm Googling quickly. Meninganot, yes, August 23rd this year.
Okay, brilliant. I'll try and get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't live in Reykjavík, so I just never get there and then. But this year I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, but there is a lot going on during the day, right? So even if you don't want to sleep over here, you can come during the day, go around, and then go home.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the questions. So where can people find you?
Yeah, so I think the easiest is on Instagram. My handle is self-image with Sandra. So feel free to connect, follow, message if you have any questions. I'm trying to be, more active on Instagram. So I think, yeah, that's the best place. So self-image with Sandra, that's my handle.
Brilliant. So I'll put the link in the description below.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for chatting to me today, Sandra.
Likewise, it was so much fun.
So that's it for today's video. I've linked Sandra's Instagram in the description below, so go and check it out and give her a follow. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!